Hey y'all, today I'm going to show you how to make these adorable and delicious gluten-free French butter cookies with chocolate. They're easier than they look, so let's get started and I'll show you how to make them. The first thing we need to do is make the chocolate discs. I bought this kit on Amazon and I'll put a link for it below. It's a cookie and chocolate kit to make both the cookies and the chocolate, but you can also use pretty much any silicone molds you can get from a craft store like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something. If your molds though aren't this shallow, most molds aren't, just don't fill them completely. It's just that simple. It's so easy to do, y'all. Even kids can do this. I've been doing this for years. And you can use a spoon like I'm using here, or you can fill a pastry bag with the melted chocolate and then cut a very tiny opening. Either will work just fine. And I'm using tempered semi-sweet and milk chocolate here for mine, but you can also take the super easy route and use melted candy wafers. I wouldn't get the Wilton brand though, because I don't think they're gluten-free, or at least they don't, like their facility isn't gluten-free or something, but also they don't seem to melt very well, and you have to add additional ingredients like shortening or paramount crystals or whatever just to get them to melt properly. And I'll tell you, the brand that I usually use if I'm not making tempered chocolate is Merkin's, and I'll put a link for that below. I've been using Merkin's since I was like in my 20s, and it's never failed me. It melts beautifully. You don't have to add all kinds of other stuff to it to get it to melt properly. Before I let these set, I'll just drop this a few times on the counter to release any air bubbles. And I'll go ahead and pop this in the freezer for about 5 minutes. And then this is what they look like when they come out. They just peel right out of the molds like this. So easy. Seriously, kids can do this stuff. And kids love doing this stuff. I've been making candy and chocolates since I was a kid. And it's so much fun, y'all. So now that we've got the chocolate done, I'll go ahead and roll out the cookie dough. This is my gluten-free butter cookie dough, and it's super simple to make. Just cream 3 1/3 sticks or 375 grams of softened butter and add in a 1/2 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 1 1/4 cups or 150 grams of powdered sugar, 1 egg white, and 3 1/4 cups or 455 grams of Kim's gluten-free all-purpose flour blend, or a high-quality store-bought blend. Mix until smooth and refrigerate for at least 1 hour. And I'm just rolling this out to about 1/4 inch thick. My little kit that I got came with this cookie cutter thing, but you can also just use a round cookie cutter or a fluted one. It really doesn't matter, and honestly, you can get really creative with these cookies and make them your own, make them different kinds of shapes, all that stuff. I'm just stamping out all the cookies, and then I'll just wrap up the scraps here and re-roll them in a minute. But right now I'm going to place these cookies about 2 inches apart on a parchment lined baking sheet, and I'm going to bake them at 350 Fahrenheit for about 12 to 15 minutes, or until very lightly browned around the edges. When they come out of the oven, I found the best way to put the chocolate discs on is to wait 8 to 10 minutes or until they're just barely warm, and then place the chocolate discs on top of each and press down very lightly. And that residual warmth from the cookies will allow the chocolate to set. I've tried it so many different ways, and this seems to be the best method. If you do this too quickly and the cookies aren't cool enough, it will melt the chocolate, and your design will also melt with it. Believe me, I've tried every way, and this is my favorite way. So let them cool completely at this point, and that's it. It's just that easy, y'all. These cookies are so reminiscent of gourmet cookies I used to get years ago. They were called Petit Écolier, I think, if I'm saying that right. I don't know. I don't speak French, but they're so good, y'all. Enjoy.